Hey guys, it is October 4th, 2021, and Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram are all down for over 4 hours now. So I thought to myself, what would be a better time than right now to build a loft bed for my daughter? Just kidding, this project took months to complete since it's hard to find the time nowadays, but at least it means you guys have time to watch my video. So let's get started. I hope you enjoy it and look forward to reading your comments. So just like most of my projects, I started designing this project in SketchUp first. We're gonna go over some of my designs for this bed. When we started designing the bed, it wasn't supposed to be that tall as it came out eventually, and we also thought about it would be nice to have a slide to get off the bed. Then we realized her room is simply not big enough, and the whole purpose of this bed was to save some space, some floor space in her room. As you can see, we can simply tuck her table beneath the bed in the final design. So we thought maybe we can break the slide in the middle and have like a 90-degree turn. That also ate up a lot of space there. At some point I presented her with this design and she was like, no way. So eventually we went back to the original design and we did some minor changes. Basically we got rid of the slide, we added the guardrails, and we rotated the bed by 90 degrees so that it would fit better with all the lighting, the windows, and the power outlets. At this point we were all happy with this design, and since it took so long to get here, I rushed over to my garage and started cutting all the wood before someone changed their mind again. This SketchUp design will be fully available in some place that I'll decide uploading it to. Check out the link in the description below. The file also has a complete cut list. I'll add a link to a video explaining how it's done. Alright, let's start cutting. I started by cutting the bed legs and bed frame and gave everything a good sand before assembling it. The wood I used for the bed frame was way too wide for my miter saw, so I had to pull out my circular saw. I used one of my speed squares as a guide and it turned out pretty well. I went back to the garage and started sanding all the wood down. At this point I noticed the bed frame pieces had some serious cracks in them, so I decided to fill them up with some putty and then sanded it down all again. So here you can see the cracks with putty in them after I sanded it down. So basically, to connect all the pieces in this project I used 2.5-inch softwood pocket hole screws. For some pieces I used glue as well, mostly for the pieces that will move a lot where screws probably won't be enough, but for the majority of the parts pocket hole screws are enough. Next was time to assemble the bed frame to the legs. I measured on the legs where the bed frame should connect and connected them with the pocket hole screws. Once I finished with the front and back pieces, it was time to connect the side pieces, I guess. Since it's supposed to be in mid-air, I asked my wife for help and also clamped some scrap pieces of wood for the legs and the bed frame to help me position the rest of the bed frame easier. Not that I plan on building another bed soon, but if you guys have a simpler way of doing this, please let me know down in the comments below. Once I was done with the bed frame, I moved on to cutting the slats, side and center support pieces. Then I measured the center point and screwed it in place with 2 pocket holes on each side. Next I moved on to pre-drilling the side rail with a countersink bit. I think it was about every 20 centimeters or so. Then I applied glue to the other side. I screwed the first screw in and made sure it's level before proceeding to the rest of them. After that I started screwing in the guardrails. Nothing special here, 2 pocket hole screws on each side. I just made sure to put them on the back side so they won't be visible when you look at the bed. Next it was time to install the bed slats. At this point I guess my daughter was already used to the camera. To space the bed slats from one another, I simply used 2 scrap pieces of wood. Then I pre-drilled the slats with a countersink bit and screwed them in place. At this point I was ready to put the mattress on, but I just had to make sure there are no pieces of wood from all the drilling. When I climbed onto the bed I noticed it was a bit wobbly. We'll take care of that later on, but for now I was just happy that it could carry my weight. Okay, so the last piece of the bed was adding a ladder. Again, nothing much to it. 2 pocket hole screws on each side. Make sure it's level and screw it in. For the finish we wanted to keep it simple, so I applied 2 layers of matte water-based varnish. That way the wood keeps its original color and it's easy to clean. Since the bed now blocks most of the light from the ceiling lamp, we had to find a solution for this. Eventually we decided to add a 5-meter LED strip. It has an adhesive tape so it holds pretty well and does a good job of keeping the area well lit. So if you guys remember from earlier in the video, I mentioned that the bed was a bit wobbly when I climbed onto it. I thought I'd try and fix that by adding 2 wooden corner braces cut at 45-degree angle. So I adjusted the table saw blade height, set the crosscut slit to 45 degrees and started cutting. So for these specific pieces I did use glue since they're gonna have to handle all the movement to prevent that wobbliness, and I didn't want to count on the screws alone since they can easily break or get loose from all the movement. All done! Wow. As you can hear my daughter's reaction, she was really happy about it. So if you like this video, it would really help me as a new creator if you guys hit that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I upload a video once every few months and that really encourages me to keep on posting new things for you. See you all next time.